Well, there's PlayStation 3, Xbox, Nintendo, Wii. Everybody's going game crazy, but video games can be more than just a hobby. They apparently can be a career, which is news to me until today. Some professional gamers are making six figures. Could your kid be next? Angel Munoz is president of the Cyber Athlete Professional League, otherwise known as the CPL. And Angel, the CPL, I just found out about this today, and maybe I'm in the dark, but how big is this thing?
Well, the Cyber Athlete Professional League was launched back in 1997, and it started with a couple hundred people coming to one of our events, and now tens of thousands of gamers from around the world participate in tournaments taking place all over.
Yeah, you talked about the numbers, I guess, 50 international events over the past several years, 250,000 gamers, and $3 million in prize money. Is there substantial money to be made here, or is it just for the coveted few?
Well, it's like any other sport, baseball, football, basketball. The few make a lot of money. There's a lot of people interested in the sport, but it takes a lot a lot of skill to get to the upper levels.
And therein lies the quandary, I think, Angel, because you talk about a lot of kids, and I think the last thing as a society we need to do is encourage kids to sit inside and play more video games. So how do you balance that?
Well, I think there's two sides to that. One is that you really want your children to be engaged in a lot of different activities beyond just gaming, but we shouldn't minimize the benefits that gaming does provide, from reaction time, logical approach to problems, problem solving in itself. So, I'm a parent myself, so there's no really need for panic. We just need to make sure that we're involved in the activities of our children. And the CPL.
Go ahead, Angel. Go ahead.
And the CPL does provide an opportunity for those that are good to make a lot of money, to make an incredible income in doing what they want to be doing, what they're good at. So it's a win-win for that type of individual.
Sure. I guess my point was, I'm trying to make sure that there's a fine line between kids who say, you know what, I'm going to make a bunch of money playing video games, and therefore all I'm going to do all day and all weekend is play video games, when you got to say, well, you might make a lot of money, but the odds are you're probably not going to, and you're better off kind of achieving that balance in your life. Get outside, play a little bit outside, especially with the obesity problem going on around the country right now.
Trace, I couldn't agree with you more. I think that that should be the dominant thought in any teenager's mind. But also, I would like to say that most of interestingly enough, most of our top players and the top gamers in our league are athletic people. They're not what you imagine them to be. They're not sort of the obese kid that's sitting just all day long playing games.
And one of the kids you're talking about is a kid named Tom Taylor, and he goes by T-Squared, and I guess he might be the best of the best. And here he is right here. Angel, talk about him. He has made a substantial amount of money and stands to make even more through endorsements and quite frankly, just sitting there playing video games.
Absolutely, and then there's another gamer also called Fatality that's very well known. He's a top player in our league, and last year he made almost $300,000. So there's a lot of top players that are really raking it in.
Yeah, and I go back to the whole skateboarding thing, Angel, because it was so big a few years ago, and everybody wanted to be the next Tony Hawk, and kids were out there breaking their arms and their legs because they were convinced they were going to be the next Tony Hawk, making millions of dollars, and quite frankly, there's probably a dozen of them in the world making any money. So the message here is, look, have fun, get involved in this competition, but it's not going to take you through the rest of your life.
Right, and find out more about it. There are some websites like ours, which all they have to remember is the term cyber athlete. So if they search for cyber athlete on Google, they go to cyberathlete.com. You get a lot of information about gaming and about tournaments that you can participate in. It's a good way to try. Our league is an open league, Trace, so people can come to our league and try out, and if they're good, they're going to rise to the top pretty quickly.
Angel, how does a Wall Street broker get up, get the nerve up to start his own league, the CPL?
Thank you for the question. You have to, I guess that back in 1997, I had an epiphany that gaming was going to be part of our society in a bigger way than we imagined. And as you said, I did leave a career in investment banking,
right,
and I was a stockbroker for many years to pursue this dream of establishing computer game competitions as a professional sport.
And you have done well.
Yes, I'm on your show. What can I say?
Angel Munoz. Angel, good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Coming up live from Studio B.